Louise Bedford here with your Mind Over Market segment. And who do I have sitting beside me? None other than Jordan Meller.
Hello. I'm back. I'm back to get butchered again, Louise, but no, I'm excited. How are you doing?
It's a beautiful thing. Look, Jordan, I think that personal fortitude, that guts, that bravery that you have, where I can put you under the pump, I can grill you, you are helping so many people with your ability to share. So 10 out of 10 for that. And the punishment won't stop with this segment either. We're going to talk about effective habits. What are the habits you want to incorporate into your trading routine and just how to do that? Now, I know you're going to love these because we really are looking to sculpt mental clarity, being able to chip away the parts of our life that are not effective, that are not working, and to enhance the parts that are. So, really, we are in a creative mode here. So, are you ready, Jordan?
No, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. No, but no, I am. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to dive in, and I'm hoping that my vulnerability up here and me walking through this is resonating with people at home, and that's what we're here to do at Trade Delicious. Just help elevate that retail space and make sure everyone knows and is more aware of the journey that we go through as traders. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Look, I think that's fantastic. So, you might remember from the previous episode, we
Mm.
talked about some of the aspects that you might want to cultivate. And keeping that in mind, if you haven't watched that episode, that is just fine because I'm going to cover some of those basics here as well. But it is a really good idea because a lot of these episodes are building on each other. It is a really good idea to go back through the archives, really immerse yourself in this content. This is free counseling directly to you. And I do think there is so much you can have as a resource here to help drive your trading through. So, for those of you that might not remember, we were talking about habit formation and we were talking about the two types of aspects here to do with habit formation, which is the initiation phase and then the maintenance phase. So, initiation is where we think of the new habit and we kick it off. And then the maintenance part is where we maintain that in our life. Now, Jordan, I know there's been a lot of people saying that it takes 21 days to form a habit. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it takes a little bit longer than that, but yes, I have.
Do you know it can depend on the type of habit you're trying to form? Now, there is no one set amount of time that it takes to form a habit. I want to kick that over as a myth. I don't know where that started from, but it is certainly not accurate. If you look at Jeremy Dean, he has done research on this, and the research says it can take even one try and then a habit can be formed if the trigger and if the reward is significant enough. Now, psychologists refer to a lot of things to do with the shock that we get when we try something new and we're in a new environment. And in some cases, it's even called neural shock. When you have a new baby and when you fall in love, those are the two areas, you are much more likely to cement the lessons into your brain, to learn them quickly, and to maintain it, even though it can be just one event. Like, imagine that you're out for a candlelit dinner and your lover is looking gorgeous that night, just gorgeous. It's a new relationship. You're so excited to be with each other. And she says, I'm allergic to prawns. Now, are you going to take more than one hit to eradicate prawns from your diet as well? Probably not. If you care for this person, then the odds are you're not going to want to kill them. So let's just think about in terms of what we can do to find those habits that we're after and to maintain them. And let's use that as a basis for this episode and for the episodes coming as well. How does that sound, Jordan?
It sounds great. My partner is allergic to prawns, so this is just this is just teeing up perfectly. It's why I'm giggling to myself over here. But no, it sounds great. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the first thing I'd like us to think about is that we really do need to find a habit that we want to engage with. And I do suggest it's something tiny, something so small that you could almost trip over because it's on your way to the kitchen and I do think that that is the key. A lot of people start with very large habits. They want to completely alter their cupboard. They want to use a completely new wardrobe going to work. These types of things tend not to stick because they're not gradual enough for our psyche to encourage and to incorporate. So the first step is find one new tiny habit. Just one. Let's work on this one step at a time. So I'm going to take you through the theory, and then we're going to zero in on a habit that you, Jordan, would like to change or incorporate, either or. So this is the first thing to think about. And then what we're looking to do, once you've got the tiny little habit that you want to encourage, you must think about these parameters. Is it easy to measure? So how do you know you're doing that habit? How do you know that outcome from that habit is what you want? If you cannot measure the outcome or the fact that you're actually doing the habit, you will not be able to continue because there's no parameters. It's all fuzzy. It's all boundaryless. The second part is you have to be able to do this frequently or immediately. Now, immediately is good. Like as soon as you get off this call, Jordan, would be great, just as a heads up. But if you can do it frequently as well, it allows that process to really cement itself in your mind. And then you must give it a 9 or 10 on the confidence scale. Now, what is the confidence scale? You may well ask. Now, this is a scale that says 0 means you have no chance of doing that habit. And 10 means you can absolutely do that habit with your hands tied behind your back. So let's perhaps work through an example. Let's imagine that one of your friends has revolting bad breath. Okay. You find out that it is because they don't clean their teeth in the morning and their breath smells like a sewer when they wake up. They go to work, they're working beside you, you can smell them. Clearly, you are motivated to help them. So you could form a nice conversation around habits and say, what's a lovely habit that you've got that is easy to measure, easy to change, and something that you can give a 9 out of 10 on the confidence scale, and something that you can do frequently or immediately. Now, brushing your teeth in the morning, would you agree that that is easy to measure, frequent or immediate, and most people should be able to do it on a 9 or 10 on the confidence scale, Jordan? Absolutely. So that one qualifies, which is terrific. That is what we are after. We are after something that is so incidental, so easy to incorporate into your life, so significant in terms of the longer term process, but it seems incidental now. That's the type of habit as traders that we're looking to find. So let's have a think about some of the habits that you might want to incorporate into your trading routines. Now, I'm going to go through a few variations here. And Jordan, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So I'll give you, this is based on a survey that I did with my traders on my other show, which is my podcast, talkingtrading.com.au. So the data is actually from real traders looking to improve. So some of the habits that they were looking to do is to review the trades where they were stopped out. Now, this one is a corker. We can learn so much from the trades that we've already been in because our selective perception is already on. We are already there. We are emotionally engaged. And so looking through the trades when they're stopped out, yes, it can feel a bit uncomfortable, but how do you feel about that as a potential habit, Jordan? Give me an idea how that would appeal to your traders.
Yeah, I think this is something we yell at constantly. It's something that I'm proud of, that I'm able to do happily. But yeah, you learn the most from the painful mistakes or from the decisions. And, a lot of people will walk away from a trading day down or sad because they didn't make money, but they might have done everything they were supposed to do. So the first place you should always look at those losing trades is, did you do what you were supposed to do? And building that habit to look at that and then to assess your performance, not your P&L. 100%. I think it's paramount.
Excellent. And do you think on those three parameters that we discussed, is it something that is easy to measure, whether you're doing it or not? Can you do it frequently or immediately? And can you give it a 9 or 10 on the confidence scale? So let's examine that habit in relation to what we know
Mm.
that creates enduring habits. Do you feel that it qualifies according to those 3 steps?
Yeah, I mean, you can implement it straight away. Everyone hits a stop loss every now and then. You can do it frequently. It doesn't take too much time, and the confidence is yeah, it's just down the discipline of sitting there and just do it. So
That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah. And one of the triggers that you could use is to diarize this. This could be a once a week if you're a short term trader type of activity, or a once a month if you're a medium term trader diary
Mm.
in position there. So you could pop it into your Google Calendar so that on the 15th of every month or the Tuesday of every week, this is something that you could do. So you could build in a trigger to encourage you to endure with that habit. Let's look at some of the other habits that my trader said. Setting aside time to examine the trades that they don't take. Now, this one is a really good one because my systems tester, Scott Lowther, he looked through all of the trades that I'd ever taken. And he also looked through the watch lists where I chose, cherry picked the trades that I wanted to take, but I didn't take all of them. I didn't take all of them on the watch list. And we tried to work out together, why did I not take some of those trades? And there were some similarities. Oh my gosh, that's almost an episode in itself. There were some similarities with the ones that I didn't take, and the ones that I did take outperformed the ones I didn't take by 3 to 1.
Ah, okay.
So that gave me confidence that I was adding an edge to my system. It wasn't just that the algorithm was creating the watch list and I was taking those trades blindly. There was something that I was doing, and if only I could quantify that and code for it,
Mm.
that would actually lead to greatness. So is that something you'd like to encourage your traders to do?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Have a look in why you make the decisions that you do, what drives you to, and as you've mentioned there, I mean, I'm just going to reiterate here, it's an edge in itself, right? How you trade is an edge in itself on top of your strategy. So yeah, understanding that is important.
That's it. And looking for the lessons. I look to see the lessons in the ones that I feel like they've gone very, very well in terms of profit. But I also look to see the ones that haven't gone well. And that's what we're talking about here. I often ask myself, what did I do well? And what could I do differently with those 2 categories of trades? It's beautiful because it's based on data. It's your own data. And that's one of the most pure forms because it's almost undeniable. You just have to have the courage to look.
Mm.
Now, the other interesting
Uh-oh.
little little area here,
Yeah.
perhaps one that many people would like to avoid. If you have a spouse,
Mm.
scheduling a boardroom meeting with that spouse to say how we're going, to say as a team what we're looking to do, what are our goals, what are we achieving in the markets, what are we doing well, what are we not doing well, to keep that spouse informed. Some of you will be trading single, and I so get that. So this does not let you off the hook. What I'm saying here is you have to have a boardroom meeting with yourself because you are your own board. But if you are trading with a friend or a special one or a spouse, then keeping them in the loop is very important, whether they're directly involved or not. They could be the ones executing as well, for all I know. But you two need to actually meet your minds here and compare notes and really come up with the plan. What is the plan for the next week or the next month or the next 5 years? So I think that is a habit that would qualify according to those 3 categories. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I love it. I love it. I love it. You not only include your partner a little bit more in your everyday life, especially like I myself, a trader, my partner is not. Anytime I'll speak finance, she'll just look at me and kind of blink. But it's the ability to open that door into your life as well, to work on team building exercises with your spouse, and then also to, yeah, just all rounds. I love it. It holds yourself accountable.
Mm.
As you are saying you're going to do something, and if you don't do it, then your spouse is going to look at you going, "You said you were going to do that," and you're in the doghouse. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity.
And it does have a ripple effect into other areas of your relationship. If you are breaking your word to anybody, but even in the markets to yourself, that break of trust infiltrates, oh my gosh, it oozes into other areas of your life. That whole do what you say you're going to do is so important. So being able to prove that, and maybe even able to gratify that concern that many spouses have about this profession. Unfortunately, we are down there with, oh gosh, what professions are we associated with, Jordan? The immediate one was springing to mind was lawyers. That's probably not very kind, is it? But we are there. We're down there with lawyers.
Yeah.
So we do have to remember that some of those unconscious money scripts, not only of our own, but also of our spouse, can trip us up and can infiltrate just to make us uncomfortable in some way. There is a certain flow that comes into trading effectively when you are in line with the markets. It is frictionless. You know that feeling, don't you, Jordan?
Yeah, yeah, it is. And yeah, from the outside, our industry doesn't have the most beautiful look, and especially when you've got friends or family, yeah, that haven't experienced it, it's definitely worth opening that door.
Yes. And perhaps another one to have a think about in terms of those three categories. Is it easy to measure? Can we do it frequently or immediately? And can we give it a 9 or 10 on the confidence scale? Is to keep a trading journal. Now, a lot of people keep a trading diary, and a trading diary is where you record your entry, your exit, and your position sizing according to your trading system. So, your trading system lives as a part of your larger trading plan. Now, if you've got a trading diary, good, 10 out of 10. However, there is an extra step here. It's the trading journal. This is where we record how we feel. I think we need to do an entire separate episode on journaling because this is a big hot button for many traders. It's where you work out your bad juju. You find unconscious parallels and you soothe yourself. You soothe your ability to make decisions because you're dealing with your crap. Yes. So keeping a diary is good, but keeping a journal is even better. So, out of these areas, Jordan, I know I've given you a few habits to consider and to think about. What one should we work on for you? Or is there another? Is there another one that we can do?
Look, I think a lot of what you suggested there, especially that last one, is something we talk all the time. Is a lot of people will say, "Yeah, I keep a journal," and it'll open it up and show me it, and it would be I entered here, I exited here, and I'm like, okay, this is a bit more of an account statement than it is a journal. But I just want to reiterate what Louisa said there. When you start looking internally, I entered here and this is how I feel about it. I exited here and this is why I exited here and how I feel about it. That opens up a whole new world of confidence or unconfidence sometimes, but it tells you about your gut feeling, whether it's actually a good thing or a bad thing. It's just mind blowing what a difference that can make. So a big shout out to doing that because that revolutionized my trading. I want to focus on including my spouse a little bit more.
Yes.
Journey. Let's focus on that.
That's excellent. I love that. A lot of people do find it tricky to talk with their spouse
Mm,
about this, especially if their spouse has given them the side eye, has given them a little bit of shade about the markets in the past. It's generally because the spouse is very uncomfortable with some aspect.
yeah.
That's what it is. It's not that they're not behind you. It's not that they don't share your vision. They probably do. It's just that they're nervous about the vehicle. So, what can we do to assist with that? So, how do you see this coming together, Jordan? Do you like the idea of having a once a month meeting with your spouse? Give me some more information.
Yeah, this is this I think this can work not just with spouses as well, especially for the younger traders. And I went through this. It was even family, close family when you're getting into trading, and there was a lot of concern, a lot of what are you doing? And I think the reason that comes with it comes with not understanding what it is, and then on top of it, not understanding your plan. It's not traditional route to follow. So I'd lean into the boardroom setting. I would go maybe once a month, but even if we could have a daily conversation, maybe it's blowing off steam after the trading day, and you just want to connect on that level. That's the key to leaving the office. There, you've relaxed, you've blew off the steam, or something along those lines, which can include them a little bit more, but then also help myself shut down after a trading day and walk out of that spot. But when we come to the boardroom concept, maybe once a fortnight, once a month, I think would be powerful.
I think the first step would be to talk to your spouse and say, this is something that I've been exposed to. I think it's an interesting idea. Is this of value? Because we need their buy-in for this. And if you are constantly battering your spouse, talking about the markets, the spouse actually considers the market as the third partner in your double partnership here. So we need to get their buy-in first. I'm not saying that this is not something that will happen, because the odds are you will get their buy-in, because they're going to want to know. But perhaps tonight, as an easy first step, because we need the easiest thing first, is to initiate a conversation with your spouse and say, I really would like to talk with you about our future. Now, generally, in general terms, spouses love to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it with a smile on your face. Like good things are coming. Okay.
Good things are coming, Louise.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, in terms of talking to your spouse for a measurable conversation, you could tick that you have had the conversation. So that would qualify with number one. Number two, you could do it immediately. Would you do this for us tonight, Jordan?
Absolutely.
Good. So that's pretty much immediate, because it's before you go to sleep. Okay,
Yep.
so I'm not saying, exactly ring her up now, or them up. Yes, that's it. But by the time you go to sleep, at least to have had that conversation, because we're going for that tiny first step first. That conversation, how do you want to do this? I'm thinking a conversation that we could pop into our calendar every second week. How does that sound? Get their buy-in for that. And are you, from a confidence angle, are you 9 or 10 on the confidence scale for being able to achieve this? Can you give us a 9 or 10 that will say, yes, I can do that, Louise?
Yeah, 10, easy.
Awesome. Now that is the initiation of an amazing habit. That is a beautiful, effective, rounded, science-backed, evidence-based good beginning. So Jordan, big fat tick to you. I think that is great. Now I'm going to be checking up on you with this. Now, the other aspect is accountability. So this is something that really we need to do. We need to make sure that we can get that into our calendar. So I will encourage you. Have you got your calendar open there, Jordan, or can you make a note?
Yeah.
I will encourage you right now to get that into your calendar now, so that way you're accountable. Now, if you can do it as a task, I know everybody's calendar is different, but if you don't do that, it can roll on to the next day. So that can be a very convenient reminder, because sometimes if we don't do that first step, the rest of the habit falls away. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds of thinking music to add that to your calendar right now, Jordan. Clearly, this is not a picture of Jordan on his laptop that I've thrown up here for everybody, but it's close enough.
We are in. And to tell you what, I've one-upped you. I'm about to get a phone call soon. I've even added my partner's email, so they're going to get a notification.
That is magic. And I know that some of these things can be a little painful in the beginning. And I have to say that level of psychological discomfort will be well rewarded. Working out consciously the habits that we're aiming for, so that we can focus on them, and then breaking them down into tiny, tiny little steps, looking at that 3-point scale to make sure that they're First of all, easy to measure. You can do it frequently or immediately, and you can give it a 9 or 10 on the confidence scale, I think is ideal. This quote from Ovid has got me through a lot of this. Ovid, amazing in terms of the Stoics. I love all the philosopher views in life. I have repeated this to myself at time and time again at various times. Be patient and tough. Someday this pain will be useful to you. And I think that's a really good one to hang on to. Ancient philosophies helping us in the markets today. So I think really, if we're not prepared to go through a little bit of pain, we could be in a bit of strife as a trader. Now, I want to take you through in the very final minutes of this to make sure that your habits are in line with your goals. I want to take you through a method of accessing your unconscious. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to introduce you to something that I don't want you to censor. And Jordan, I'll see what comes out of you, and I'll say I'll do it at the same time. What did you dream about becoming when you were a child?
What? Okay. I didn't have a profession, but I always wanted my own office. I always wanted to be in business. And it's crazy. Like ever since I was young, I had a dream of having this office with a beautiful view. I don't know what I was doing, but I was in business and I had an office, and that was my
Oh, the little Jordan would have been so happy with what's happened so far in your life.
I'm
That's
on
so
track. I'm
lovely.
on track.
I
But
wanted
yeah.
to own the Cadbury Sweps building in Melbourne and to be flown into work with my 2 children. I don't know why my children were there, by helicopter.
Oh yeah.
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 So
Full
I
succession life. Yeah.
and for some reason I thought I'd be writing romance novels and designing wallpaper.
Hey, not
Hmm.
far. I mean, you're writing novels, right? You got some
Yeah.
great novels
Yeah.
out there.
We can go there. I've definitely got 5 books under my belt, but they're
Yeah.
not quite novels. Now, the next part is, what did you dream about becoming when you were a teenager?
Ooh. I don't reckon that changed much, to be honest, Louise. When I started maturing through my teenage years, my focus went a little bit more monetarily influenced, right? So I started thinking more dollar value, but I think that's still aligned. I don't think that changed all that much.
Absolutely. Well, that's interesting too. And for everybody watching and listening, I think this is a very valid question. And describe your perfect day.
Oh, perfect work day or just perfect day altogether?
Perfect day, my friend. Doesn't
Oh,
have to
I
be any
am
boundaries.
playing paddle ball on a beach. I am sitting there just swimming and chilling on a beach. That's my perfect day right there.
Oh, magic. Could you do that forever though?
No, probably not.
Give me a
No.
perfect day that gives you longevity.
Um okay, let me stress out the day a little bit. In the morning, I'm an early bird person, right? I want to get straight into an office with a team with a beautiful dynamic where you walk in and it's like seeing a bunch of mates and you all have a bit of a laugh, and I think we're on track with building that at the moment. And you just have this all round excuse me, all around charisma, and I'll be in the office there actually working. I really enjoy working. I enjoy progressing and goal setting, and then around midday leaving and going to see my spouse and spending the rest of the day with them at the beach.
Oh,
But
magic.
that
This is
that would be
beautiful.
perfect.
This is combining, yeah, worlds of Jordan. Now, I have to ask you the next question.
Okay,
What is keeping you from doing it?
that's a good question. Um, right now, my drive to be more successful. I think that would be my initial answer. I don't feel I'm in a position to be able to do that and reach my goals. I think that's actually gonna, yeah. I think I need to work harder in order to reach my goals than that.
That's a good answer. That is a good answer because we really do need to look at what is blocking us from getting to the life we want to achieve. Now, if you can get your habits to be in line with your subconscious desires, with your higher calling, with your values, with where you see yourself ending up in this life, then everything else will flow from there. It will
Mm,
be so much smoother. So in conclusion, Jordan, do you feel this habit of talking with your spouse about where you're heading, trading in terms of a profession, your results, do you feel that that new habit that you're going to develop from tonight is in line with what you've described as your values?
Yeah, I think it can hold me more accountable. It can be, yeah, I've got more, I essentially put more pressure on myself doing there. I've now got my partner also pushing, hopefully. But yeah, 100%. It'll make me work harder, make me work cleaner, and spend more time with her as well. It's perfect.
So, for everybody listening, think about the process we've gone through. We've identified a habit. We've broken it down so that it's a tiny habit because Jordan wanted something much bigger every second week. No, 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 no. We're going to do one thing tonight to
Mm.
initiate that overall picture. We've looked whether it was easy and possible to measure. We've looked at something that was frequent and immediate, as well as giving it a 9 or 10 out of the confidence scale. And we have checked it in line with our higher values. Now, that is a beautifully rounded way to form a habit, whether it's a habit to do with the rest of your life or in trading. Jordan, I think we should land the plane here. What are your
I
thoughts?
love it. I love it. No, thank you very much. Once again, I've been smacked. I'm sitting here going, right, I've got another to-do list. But no, I absolutely love these conversations. I'm loving this content, and I know everyone at home will be as well. If you guys are, make sure you're showing Louise some love in the comment section as well, and see all the other episodes that we've done so far and many more to come.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for your time, Jordan.
Cheers.